Discuss what happened in episode 10. What a fantastic send-off. Let's introduce our panel. Jeff from the Collector Zone. How are you this evening, Jeff?
Going far out, man. How are you?
You're still far out? Okay. And we have over next to Jeff a new member of the panel for tonight. How long? I know you haven't been watching season 3. You finished it, Dave?
I've got about 30 minutes left.
He's crushing it. He's crushing the entire season. What do you think so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been great. The when they got everybody together, they had the entire crew, the original crew back together from Next Generation, and they were on the Enterprise at the end of episode 9. They went to the Enterprise D, and they had everybody going to their stations, and it was almost like a moment from the Avengers when Captain America finally says, "Avengers, assemble." You know, it's one of those moments where you're just like, oh, and when he sits down and goes, "Engage," I was just like, ah. I was thrown back in time, and it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was a teary-eye moment for me anyway. And then the Majel Barrett's voice, and that just put me in a different place. You know, it was like, this is what I saw a post, and it was a meme. You know, the memes that
don't touch it.
That's what she said.
It's gonna be like this all night, huh?
Maybe you're not touching it enough. And again, that's what she said.
Already in the toilet.
All right.
Difficulties on the last episode.
This is so weird. It's never done this before. That's what she said.
Maybe it's your voice.
That's what she said. We could go all day. Come on.
That's what she...
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Talk
It'll be one of those episodes.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that gives you time to finish.
Well, that's a lot better. Let's continue, Debbie. What'd you think?
It was just so beautiful. That last episode. It truly was. Not only this episode, but the whole season. This whole season has just been a big fat love letter to the fans from TNG, and you know, they didn't get quite the send off they should have gotten with Nemesis. Even though I like Nemesis, the only movie I don't like is Insurrection. I don't like that movie, but yeah, they didn't get the proper send off that they should have gotten, and this corrected that mistake.
You know, yep. I saw Insurrection on the theaters, And the only reason I went to go see Insurrection on the theaters, it was Christmas 1998, and the only reason I went was to see the trailer for episode 1. I'm a
Oh
horrible
no.
Star Wars. Yeah. To all my Star
Yeah,
Wars
but
people.
being
out
a Star
there,
Wars fan, that still sucks. I was disappointed. But before we get straight off too far, Mr. Bill,
Hey.
what'd you think about the last episode?
It was season 3 was amazing. It's going to be hard to go back and watch season 1 and season 2 because the expectations are so wow. They just blew it out of the park with 3. If they only had one season,
I agree.
this is the season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was telling a friend of mine who's never seen Picard that didn't like the Next Gen. And I said, look, I'm not a huge fan of Next Gen either, but just watch season 3, start to finish, and you'll actually appreciate Star Trek just like you used to. So, yeah, man, it was a good one.
Can you imagine if they did season 3 as a season 1?
Oh, you couldn't.
Yeah.
That would be like you might as well just quit now.
That's right.
You're not going to top that. You're going to be. You're just dead in the water.
Drop the mic. Boop.
Yeah.
And I see you got something next to you there, the Enterprise D.
The D. I found my wireless music player. I pulled it out.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's like a Bluetooth
I
speaker.
thought it was a Playmates.
No, I got this for my birthday. It was a wireless music player, so you just hook up your phone to it, it'll play your music.
Sweet.
Nice.
Or pieces of the episode.
Or the episode, yeah. Whatever's on your phone.
Ooh, yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah.
So I think after this is Strange New Worlds in June, right?
On the 15th.
In May?
June.
Oh, June. Okay.
June, yeah. They've shown.
What'd you
many,
think of the trailer?
I liked it. I liked the first
I was
season.
expecting more.
What season is this?
I
2.
think it's 2. Yeah.
Is this 2? Okay, so I've got all the way until June to knock out the first 2 seasons. I'm good. I just barely got Paramount Plus, and now I'm having to play catch up with everybody. So I'm a horrible, horrible person.
That's what binging is for, right?
Really? You got that kind of time. I was barely watching the new episode in the evening last night.
Well, I'm a hermit, so I have all kinds of time to binge everything.
She's a hermit, and she wakes up at the crack of dawn to watch it before she gets ready for work.
So now I have to start on
I
Mandalorian
did-
because I purposely put that off so I can finish all this.
All 3 seasons, or just this last season?
Just this season, I haven't watched this
Okay.
season.
It's a good one. I still like season 2 better, but it's a good season.
Oh!
Go watch Cantina Happy
I personally
Hour.
have to watch them.
Go Cantina Happy Hour Thursday nights. We talked about it, had the whole thing.
I've been really
Yeah, I
good at
personally have
avoiding
to
all
watch
the
it.
stuff.
Really?
Avoiding all those spoiler alerts on the Star Wars stuff. So I feel pretty good that I can see it clean.
I don't know how you do that.
That doesn't work out for me.
Yeah, I can't. Because I'm part of the social media team. There's just no way. That's why I have to watch it at the crack of dawn before I go to work.
Hey, the captain's back.
No sound, John.
He's going to bring up little cue cards.
We'll hold up the sign. What did you think of this? Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'll work. Get a little ASL going on there.
Oh. Like that? That means something different, probably. No, that's help.
Comms are down.
Lost the sound effects too. You got to turn on your Enterprise, Bill, for sound effects now.
Yeah.
You fly around, swish.
Dave,
See, you used to do that as a kid. You remember?
I think you jinxed John because usually you're the one with the microphone.
I was gonna say, yeah, usually I'm the microphone person, but this time it's John. Sweet. It's not my fault.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the podcast, guys. We'll see. No. It's a wrap.
That concludes episode 10.
We should just talk about the ending. Just screw it. Get down to the heart and meat of
Not
the
yet.
episode.
I haven't watched the ending yet. I'm still watching it.
Oh, you're screwed, dude. You made a mistake for being on here then.
I want to hear
spoiling
about all
it.
the
We're
swag.
spoiling
that John
everything.
got.
Yeah. So let's
thought
talk a little bit about that.
What do you get?
Well, I know you got popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh, the swag at the movie?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I would think he got like a poster, maybe.
Yeah, I think they said something about poster and I maybe a T-shirt. I'm not 100% on that. But I know he got a bucket of popcorn with Picard's face on it. I think it was Picard's face.
Did he stay for the Q&A?
I don't know. He was walking out in the parking lot doing a video and almost killed himself.
Yeah, I've seen that, but when of course we were asking him in the chat, but he wouldn't tell us anything. And
I
now
wish he
he's
videotaped the
right.
Q&A.
He's back on the screen.
Drum roll, please.
I know.
Captain, I'm giving it all she's got. Oh,
Just
Your
don't
microphone
have
was
the
working in
power.
the chat, so I don't know why it's not working now. That's weird.
Okay, the President Chekhov, when he made his announcement, was that Chekhov? Was that the Walter? Yeah, was that Walter?
I knew the voice of Walter.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean
yeah.
the voice. It wasn't Chekhov, but yeah.
Yeah. It was a nice nod. It had Anton, which is the Chekhov that passed away.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a nice nod.
yeah.
Oh, but did he die?
Apparently, Kirk's still around, so who knows? It's Star Trek.
McCoy made a cameo on Next
TNG.
Generation.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess Scotty did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of them did, but Leonard Nimoy had the biggest part.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think Chekhov
That was my
died
experience.
or did not or lived?
Which version?
No, President Chekhov.
J.J. Abrams version or
No, the episode episode 10. Do you think you just heard his voice, but then it got cut off? I'm like, oh, did he die?
No, because
Yeah.
the other voices were saying we got to get you out of here, so they probably
Probably in a bunker.
Yeah, they took him to a safe zone.
And I don't know if they actually fired on Earth. I know they were targeting various cities, but I don't remember hearing or seeing that they actually fired.
I'm just glad they did away with all those sparklers floating around outside of the world.
Oh, the fireworks from last week.
Yeah.
How do you
That's
fire
like
fireworks?
Oh,
in
good. We're
space?
back to normal.
I mean,
There's a whole
seriously.
episode dedicated to that, man.
Okay.
Air, space, fire. Then again, that's been a big thing about Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
We had that conversation as kids, man.
Hey, maybe that'll be an experiment
Oh, yeah,
with
explosions in
SpaceX.
space.
Star Wars, though. Star Wars. Here's
It barely gets off the ground.
here's the excuse I always give with Star Wars. Star Wars happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So a galaxy far, far away, the physics is probably different. Just a thought. Just a thought.
So, what did we think of Worf as the comic relief this episode?
When was that?
What?
I don't remember him being a comic relief.
Oh, his threesome, and I'll make it a threesome. That was hilarious.
Oh,
and then
I missed that one.
And then Riker always follows up with the
really.
I don't know. Riker, when Riker picked up that was good when Riker got the bat lift. And he picked up.
Yeah.
These things heavy.
All right. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Yeah.
Computer microphone.
I can't see you. That's what it is. Your camera's interfering. Oh.
Yeah, I got to go off of
oh.
I got to go off the camera mic.
Camera mic. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I think my Elgato Wave is overheating. Just too excited for tonight, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it was triples.
Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah. All right. Where were we?
Slide number 59.
You were on slide 700?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I thought we were on slide 7 of 9. Sorry. Thank you. I'll be here.
All right.
There you go.
So before we get started again, I would just like to take this moment to
Oh man.
say a little notice for our good Captain Liam Shaw. He was around season 3, episode 1 to season 3, episode 9. Sir, you were an asshole, but you were our asshole. So thank you, Todd Stashwick, for a great character. And who knows, maybe he's part Vulcan, so they can, do the old Spock thing and
Okay.
and get him going again,
Thanks for the spoiler, man.
Thanks. Oh, did you
Some
want
of us
that?
hasn't got that far.
What do you mean, gotten what far?
No, I got it. I've seen that. He's dead already.
All right, so let's start off with our episode. Now, when I was in the IMAX theater, they took both movies or both episodes and turned them into a movie. So we did not get to see the previously on for episode 10. We didn't get to see the opening of the episode. So we actually had no idea until we got home that they changed up the beginning of the episode with the Enterprise D flyby. We did not get to see this.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I did notice though that when the whole Borg collective thing kind of took over at the end. When it made
Yeah, because it went dark from episode 9 right into the crackling sound of President Anton Chekhov. How cool was that?
That was awesome.
Yep.
A nice nod to JJ, Anton, and then to Chekhov.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and did you notice the speech was almost word for word episode Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat. And the after show for the IMAX, they were talking about trying to get more legacy characters into it, but they ran out of money. But it just so happened that Todd Stashwick lives next door to Walter Koenig. So that's how they got him in it. And they didn't have the money to actually go and bring him into studio and, do a presidential makeup and stuff. But he just basically did it in a home recording studio and recorded it that way, which was pretty neat. And did you guys catch this in the beginning? During the president's message?
I don't remember that.
This is the opening cloud from Next Generation.
Oh.
That's why I don't remember it. Okay.
And then this star right here is where it flashes and it turns into Jupiter or wherever they are. But this is the original opening of Next Gen.
That's cool.
And then we have the transmission, stay away from Earth, save yourselves. And then the
Go back in
Enterprise
time.
flies by.
So, John, what do you think at the end where it says he loses connection? Do you think he was killed or they just took him away because the Borg were coming?
Who's that?
President Chekhov.
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. They do say he's, his shuttle is ready. So you hear that in the background. Mr. President, your shuttle is ready. So I would assume that he got off world. And there's the Borg hiding in the eye of the storm of Jupiter. And it's like a little city sticking out of the hurricane on Jupiter.
It's massive.
So then we see the entire fleet attacking Space Dock. That was a pretty neat little action sequence. And they come and they take the bridge. And we have, what was her name? The chick with the bumps on her head.
Mura.
We have her and LaForge. She's in control, and LaForge is like unapproved movement in level 16. And they come up the turbo lift and take over the bridge, and they shoot them down with phasers. So I guess this is I don't know if this is a nod to Star Trek Beyond or a dig at J.J. Abrams. I don't know which one it is, but she says, looks like you've invented portable beam up, because Star Trek Beyond, didn't they have a suitcase device that they could beam up using a suitcase or something like that?
I don't remember that.
I remember some kind of suitcase, but I don't remember what it did.
Isn't that when he's like riding the motorcycle?
Mm-hmm.
Doing the Fast and the Furious thing around around that prison compound. And then we have this guy. This is my I would watch a show with this guy. This is my new favorite character. And he's like, I'm just a cook. I did take some flight lessons, but my brother got a hernia and I had to go watch the deli. So
actually, I'm just a cook.
Yeah,
great.
You should have said, "I'll make you a sandwich."
Right?
Wait, didn't Steven Seagal say that in Under Siege? I'm
Yeah.
just a cook.
I'm just a cook.
yeah. Yep. A lowly old cook. So then we come back to the Enterprise, and we find out that the Borg cube is only 36% operational, and apparently Data doesn't like them. So his feelings are a flush, and we had this whole emotional scene where everybody's leaving, and it's Worf, and as I think again he steals the show. Worf steals the show. So he goes in, and Riker's like, I'm coming with you, and then Worf says, well, I will make it a threesome. And then you have
Do you
Riker's
hear
like, do you even hear yourself? So
That was cool. It's so funny.
so they're all leaving, and Riker gives Deanna a look. And Riker said, Jonathan Frakes had said in the after panel that the way that him and Deanna worked it out was they have, because they're Imzadis, he would have her emotion as well. So he could read her, and she could read everybody else. So he knew. He was saying that I knew in this scene what she was feeling. So we didn't really have to say anything. We just had to give each other that look, and that's they just look at each other, and it's like so emotional. And then when you've seen it with, I guess it was about 400 people in the IMAX, it gets pretty, you can actually feel it in the crowd.
That's some great acting.
So they beam down to the Borg cube, and there we see it. And we're kind of wondering what's going on. Why are the Borg all rotted? What did you guys think about the idea of her surviving off of the corpses of the other Borg?
I was ready for some zombie Borg.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, she was surviving on revenge and doing whatever she could to get it.
I mean, she looked like she was like deteriorating also with her body.
Yeah, she she definitely did not look as good as she did back in Nemesis.
Well, that's good. So Picard tells everybody, we're gonna split up. He's like, you guys go this way. I can't be your captain anymore. I now have to be a father. So he goes off. Riker and Worf go off to find the signal and try and shut the signal down.
Which is kind of a nice tie-in to one of the previous episodes when he was switched, right? Because Riker was being a father, right? Was that episode 2 or episode 3?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, where he says, he's like, you need, this is your job now. You need to be
a father, and Picard couldn't grasp it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice.
And there she is. I don't know if you can see her. It's pretty dark, but
Yeah, she
The
didn't
Borg
age too
Queen.
well, man.
Yeah. The Borg Queen is back. And then back on the Titan, they're like, oh, there's a signal. And it looks like the Enterprise D is hanging out around Jupiter with a Borg cube. So now I'm wondering, do they think, hey, they're setting us up, or are they trying to rescue us? And they're like, we got to give them time. So the Titan goes in and cloaks again. So Riker and Worf find the central access node. And then here we have all hell breaking loose with the Titan going in and uncloaking and just firing everything they have again to give them time to find out and fix the situation. But then where they beamed him to was the transporter room, and then they locked the doors. But now they've broken free. And because that they're about ready to destroy the central node, a couple of the leftover drones, they come alive and start to fight. And Worf takes what, two or three hits and keeps on going.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he's
a trooper.
He is. He's pretty cool. So he drops the sword and he tells Riker, pick up the sword, and Riker like almost throws his back out trying to lift this thing. And he's like, oh shit. He's like, this is heavy. And then he's like, I had no idea this was that heavy. So he's like, no, the handle. And he pulls out a phaser from the handle. I'm thinking to myself, watching it in this, I'm like, you had a phaser the whole time?
How cool is that?
I was like, come on. Why wait until the last second to pull the phaser out? I said, come on. This is pretty ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, yeah.
Now, he's a Klingon. He enjoys killing. Come on.
At the conventions now, you'll be able to buy just a regular batleth, and you'll be able to buy one with a phaser built into the handle. So.
That's right.
Well, I don't know if that was a batleth. That was some kind of sword. I don't remember the name of the sword that they used. I don't think it was a batleth.
Not a batleth, no.
And then here we have Beverly kicking ass and just firing torpedoes and phasers and destroying whole sections of the Borg cube. And then everybody turns around and looks at her like, we didn't know you could do that. And she's like, a lot's happened in the last 20 years. So she's become real kick-ass. And that's what's cool about it is, the females have their moment, but it's not like it's shoved in your face like other television series that are out there. It's like, we expect don't make a big deal out of it, because there are women that are out there that can do all this stuff.
Well, what I appreciate the most about this season, especially 3, is that every character had more growth to the original characters from the TV show. So yeah, man, I really did appreciate that.
And then this is where Riker turns around and says exactly what I was thinking in the theater. You had a phaser in there the whole time? And Worf just turns to him and says, swords are fun. And that was another Worf roar of the crowd moment. So now they send the coordinates to the where the signal is coming from, and Geordi realizes it's deep down inside the Borg cube, and Geordi's like, nobody can fly that, not even my daughter. So then I guess they don't trust Data because he's like, I don't know, he's like a new Data.
Yeah.
I was saying that exact same thing.
Yeah,
right
newly
when your
formed.
microphone was out. I was like, did they not learn anything from the original series? Data is capable of a lot.
But this is a new Data.
Don't care.
This is Data. This is Lore. This is B4. This is everybody together mixed in.
That makes him even far superior.
And then he says, my gut tells me I can do this.
My gut.
And then Geordi gets a laugh line from the theater. He says, all right, we'll go with Data's gut. So then they go in and have a hyperspace Star Wars moment. And
I was wondering if you were going to catch that.
this is basically the end of Return of the Jedi. And if you've seen my video that I posted, I think last night, it's only a couple of seconds long. It's called Return of the Picard, and I have Lando piloting the Enterprise, going into the Death Star, and Data's enjoying it. He is having a grand old time.
Oh, and Deanna says, like, I sense happiness or something like that.
Joy.
Joy.
She senses joy. Yeah.
So then Space Dock
With all
is
those
wiped
phasers, with all those phasers hitting that space dock, I thought it'd just blow up. You know, like
Well, it's you can actually see that you didn't see it too well at home, but in the IMAX you could actually see the shields popping on and off where they would get hit, and then once they said the shields are down, you can actually see the blue of the shields wipe away from Space Dock.
oh, that was cool.
So now they're targeting every city. And they go through a whole list. And luckily in Dallas, I'm safe because they didn't mention Dallas. So then the cloak is gone, and they can't figure out why, but it's because these two went in and shot up the cloak because they knew it was there. And that was another, I don't know. Do you put a sentry up and have somebody try and guard the cloaking device?
Now they're short-staffed.
Send the cook.
Yeah, there you
Right.
go. So now Jack is saying fire on Sector 001, which is Earth. Picard is begging for him to snap out of it. And Titan gets a couple of direct hits and is dead in the water. And there's Jack as a Borg, dressed up in his Locutus cosplay. With the laser and the eyepiece. And then here we go. All the ships. And the thing about seeing it in the IMAX was, I don't know if you guys noticed it watching it at home, and I know there's a lot of ships that look the same. They're just different names and stuff, but you can actually see the copy and paste of where they took that ship and then they copied it and pasted it over here. Then they pasted another one over here. So, there's two ships that have like these, like this one here has like these 4 nacelles, and here's another one right up here.
Oh.
So it's like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and they just...
You got to write CBS about that, man.
Yeah, I'm never watching Star Trek again.
After this episode, you're done.
And we'll only see it 3 more times.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I've listened to the soundtrack already like 4 times. The score came out for the season. It's fantastic. It's probably better than the series. So the Enterprise gets hit because the Borg ship is starting to shoot back. And the Queen is freaking out because she knows what's coming. And then here we have the Enterprise entering the Nevedalier. And I don't know if I still have that photo in here from last week.
You got 204 to choose from.
So we have the ship go into Nevedalier. Don't act up again. I'll have to kick you off for good.
That's so wrong, man. So wrong.
So Beverly's like, okay, we got a fire, preparing to fire. And Geordi's like, no, wait. If you destroy the cube now, they'll kill everybody. And Deanna's like, well, it's either we kill everybody down there or kill everybody in the galaxy. So you hear from above, we have a lock on you and Worf, but we don't have a lock on Picard. And Riker has his moment where he says, I'm not beaming up, I'm staying here. He tells Worf to get off. And he's like, I can't leave. I've known him. He's given me a life. I need to stay and try and help him. And Deanna says, you have a minute to get out at most. And Riker has a great line where he says, I owe him a lifetime. The least I can spare is a minute. Which is, Deb, what are the feels like going through you right now when you were watching?
Goosebumps.
When you had goosebumps watching this?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows the loyalty between this ensemble cast and, well, with the characters also. But I mean, yeah, they would literally die for each other.
Yeah, there's some good writing in this episode.
I
mean, you're also thinking, okay, somebody's going to die. At least I was during this part. It was so tense because you're like, oh my God, are we going to lose 3 characters all at once?
Yeah.
And I was like, it can't end that way.
And then we have another classic Worf line where he says, there was a moment today where I figured we might actually survive. So he's all happy, ready, going to die. So Picard is like, I vowed never to return to the collective, and now he has a reason to. He says, he's going to trade himself for Jack. He's going to unplug himself. He's going to unplug Jack and plug whatever it is. He's going to plug himself into the Matrix. And you see he immediately starts to turn Borg. And then they go into this little, what would you call this?
Father-son moment.
Well, it's like a euphoria dream state that he was in.
Yeah, this was like on, what is it? Vormir. After you get the stone, the soul stone.
Where he goes and talks to baby Gamora.
Right.
She says,
Yeah.
Did you do it? What did it cost?
Yeah. So this is very, very parallel to Endgame. And then Jack says, I can hear everybody. I hear all the voices. There's no suffering. It's just hope. And the Enterprise is ready to fire. And Geordi's like, fire torpedoes. So they're going to blow up they're going to blow up the node that's sending out the signal. And then Worf says, this is indeed a fine day indeed to die with honor. And the shockwave from the explosion is blocking the transport sensors.
That always seems to happen. There's always something that blocks the transporter signals.
So then they decide that, hey, let's go give a quick flyby. And Picard's like, well, if you won't leave, then I'll stay here with you. And then that's what I think turns Jack, because he was never expecting Picard to give a damn. And they get a nice hug.
Aww.
And big touching moment.
What did the theater do?
Cry.
Well, it was silent. It was one of those moments where it's just complete silence, and you could hear a pin drop. 400 people, and I don't even think I heard anybody crunching their popcorn. That's how quiet it was.
That's cool.
So then Jack starts having flashbacks. He remembers all these moments with Jean-Luc sitting at the bar and having a laugh. And then Jack wakes up and the Borg Queen says, he can't leave, you have to stay here. And they basically decide that they're not getting out of here. So because empath, that's the word I was looking for before, because being with Deanna Zimzadi, or vice versa, or however they use that terminology, he's got his own empathic skills, and he sends out a message. He says, I love you. And then this is what got me, is where he says, we'll be waiting, me and our boy. And that was that was a moment that was pretty amazing in the theater. And again, still, this whole sequence is dead silent in the theater. So she knows where they are, and for some reason they let her drive again, because we all know what happens when Deanna Troi drives the Enterprise. It crashes into something.
Hey, that's that same skill set she used, and was that Insurrection, where she was like looking for them on the targeting them, and then
I think so.
there they are, and then I found you.
that was with this. Wasn't that Nemesis?
The guy from Remus, oh my gosh, the Romulan.
Yeah, that was Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Where
Tom Hardy.
She's trying to find him using the Force.
Yeah.
Going up and down the map because they're cloaked.
Yep.
And then Jack is like, the time of the Borg is over. And she's like, you'll be alone. And he's like, I won't be alone. And then all of a sudden, from up above, this amazing shot in IMAX totally stunned the audience, and it was just gorgeous seeing the Enterprise just pull over and pull above, and
I bet the details were amazing.
One of the things that they had before the show was kind of like, I don't know if you've been to Alamo Drafthouse, where they'll show you clips from movies and details about the film before it starts. And one of the things was they were talking with the costume designer, and they were saying that, I know LeVar Burton was saying that you'll never see these on screen, but inside the shoulders of the leather jackets are little tiny deltas.
Wow.
They're made out of some kind of plastic that is painted onto the leather, and then when it's heated, it puffs up, creating a divot. So it had little tiny deltas. You could see that. You could see the details on the snaps in the IMAX.
Did they have any costumes out there for you guys to see in the waiting area?
No. It was just that they probably did in the Hollywood showing, but no, we just had a movie. We got a free popcorn and soda and a lithograph.
Oh, nice.
So the signal's been interrupted, and something says continue the last command. So they're still headed towards Earth. And everybody becomes deborgified right before the ultimate showdown of everybody shooting each other on the bridge. And then this shot was amazing. The Borg cube explodes, and then right over here you see just a ball of fire. And then the further the ball of fire comes out, the less it dissipates, and you see it's the Enterprise behind the shields, and zooms right past the screen.
I
bet it sounded like
Millennium Falcon. It's like the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
And everybody's happy that they did it. So they get back aboard the bridge. There's reunions everywhere. And Riker does his old face grab smooch. And these are the jackets there's little deltas inside of these jackets,
Wow.
and you could actually see that in the theater. It's everything about this thing was feature quality.
I wonder if they released the whole series in the theater, just so people could appreciate it like that.
Geez, you'd be there all day though, 10 hours at least.
One
Well,
episode
even
a
if it was
week.
just the last 2 episodes.
Oh, you wouldn't even have to. Oh, you're talking about one episode a week. I'm thinking like the whole thing in one sitting.
If it was cut into a movie, I'd sit there for 10 hours.
It'd be like Marvel. they did like so many until Infinity Wars.
Yeah, didn't they do that? Didn't they
Yeah.
have all 26 of them?
Yeah,
They
like
did.
24 hours or something. 2
I know
days.
Age of Ultron. When Age of Ultron came out, they did one that started with Iron Man 1 and worked all the way up. And at midnight, you got to see Age of Ultron. So you got to see the midnight show.
And I think they did that with Endgame also.
I think they did.
I think they
Seems
did,
like
yeah.
they did. You had to watch 22 movies.
Yeah.
Like, holy smokes.
Yeah,
some
you know, Black Panther, you close your eyes and go to sleep for a couple hours.
Captain
Same
Marvel.
thing with Captain Marvel, yeah. Incredible Hulk.
There's a couple of them in there I could probably get a few hours worth.
Yeah, unfortunately, Incredible Hulk was the second movie, so you're still kind of
I like
awake.
Incredible Hulk. I think you're crazy.
Yeah.
So then we get Worf snoring.
That was hilarious.
That was great.
That was awesome.
I never laughed so hard.
Because that's 3 old men sitting in their chairs talking about the good old days, and one of them just falls asleep. That's exactly what that is. It's hilarious.
It's like that scene you get in all the like the Eddie Murphy movies in the barbershop.
Mm.
Yeah. I was thinking, he'll do like a lazy boy with the feet will recline up or something.
Well, that would have been a cool feature that they never told you was there. You know, it's like, you just.
Yep.
And then they turn. You could have Geordi turn to Data and say, "Did these always recline?"
Yeah.
That would have been killer.
So there's the Picard Crusher family.
Oh.
And here it is,
Captain's log.
the beginning of our Return of the King ending. Because I think at this point there's still 35 minutes left in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he used a different star date. It was kind of weird. He just said star date 1, I think it said.
Yeah, because this is the
Rebirth.
Earth has gotten a new life. And you would kind of expect this to be the end, where you see the Enterprise ride off into the sunset or sunrise, depending on.
Oh no, we gotta wait and see what happens to everybody. Always gotta see what happens.
So you find out Beverly is now the head of Starfleet Medical, and she's created some technology to deborgify everybody, and they can also find changelings now. So they grabbed this guy off of the transporter, and you find out they didn't kill anybody. The changelings didn't kill anybody, which I don't know. What do you guys feel about that? Is that
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
is that kind of cheesing out a little bit?
Just a little bit.
So that leads us to let us know that Tuvok is back again, and he's talking to Seven of Nine about her disobeying direct orders, and she says, "Well, before you even get started, I'm resigning." And Tuvok's like, "Well, then you'll want to hear you'll want to hear this message. And it's her performance review. And you can see that she's not looking forward to what Shaw has to say about her. So he's goes into his little review, and he says, First Officer Hansen, more accurately, 7 of 9. You know, she goes, I go by the book, and the book that I go by is boring. You know, she's brave, she's loyal, and you're thinking, oh, this is the guy, this is him. He's an asshole, but he's our asshole. So, but he says the book she writes is going to be a good one. And he's like, the rules she breaks, maybe they were broken already. And he says he is going to recommend that she is promoted to captain when they return to port. So Tuvok says, resignation denied. And then she gets a little teary-eyed, and it's kind of a touching moment. I guess there was a lot of folks in the crowd that were big 7 of 9 fans. So, you know, there was a round of applause, and you know, when she gets promoted. So,
and somewhere in the world, there's Ensign Kim going, "Oh my gosh, she got promoted! I'm still an ensign."
Poor guy.
And they were saying that they wanted him in the series too, but they just weren't given the money to do all the cameos that they wanted to. So Worf goes to see what is it, Raffi?
Yeah.
Raffi. So he's impressed with her. She's, you know, he says, "You're a warrior." And then this scene, this was a hilarious scene. And you have Data actually in therapy.
Does Data have PTSD now?
The Data,
Is that what it is?
He's got something. I think he's just, you know, and it was a great line because he was like, you know, I had always assumed that the journey to become human was difficult, and trying to achieve it was one of the hardest things that he's ever had to do. But now that he is human, it doesn't change. He's still learning things every day and learning how to, you know, go through life and be a person, a good, decent person. So they're an hour over their time, and you can see from her pad, she's trying to decide where they want to go on vacation. So there's a whole bunch of planets, and then Riker's outside the door, just lurking like usual. And he has a great line here. Did anybody pick up his line?
Am I still muted?
No. Did you pick up? You didn't pick up Riker's line here?
He said
No,
something.
I forgot about it.
So the door opens up, and he's like, "How's it going, Data?" And he goes, "It's going well." And he said, "We'll see you for the next one, counselor." And she's like, "Yeah, we'll see you." we'll see you on the next for the next session. And he turns to her and says, "Is he still batshit?"
Is that what
yeah.
he said? I couldn't make it out.
Yeah. I thought I had it in here.
Oh, that's
But
funny.
yeah, he says, is he still batshit crazy? So then we go 1 year later. And there she is, finished at the Fleet Museum, hanging out outside, ready for someone to come by and steal her again. And the three of them are on the bridge, and they're like, how many times is this ship saved the world? And Geordi says computer, and then we get one last voice of the computer, and she says shutdown procedure initiated. And then Riker has the line, another great line. And he just says, "I miss that voice."
Nice.
Which is
Don't we
something that
all?
everybody's feeling, in the theater, and you can hear the crowd just like, oh, just like, oh, one of those moments.
Honestly, if it had ended there, I would have been happy. Just them walking off the ship shutting down, and they walk off into the sunset kind of thing. That would.
Oh, but nay. I think
No,
there's
of course
4
not.
more endings
I
coming.
was gonna say we still got 10 more minutes left.
So then we have Admiral Picard and Admiral Crusher. Yeah, you're cleared to land at docking bay 63 or something like that. And she says to Jack in the background, "You're nervous," and he's just pacing back and forth like a cat that wants to get out of the house. And he's like, you worked really hard on this. And he's like, well, could be nepotism.
My favorite line. I love.
And he's like, I think the family name might have helped just a touch. And then Picard giving us a premonition. Is that the word I'm looking for? Not a flashback. What's the reverse of a flashback?
Yeah, you're right. Premonition.
Flash
He
forward.
says
Foreshadowing.
foreshadow. Yeah, he gives us some foreshadowing. Names mean almost nothing. So he's like, "Where are you? You forgot to tell me. You forgot to tell me what ship you're stationed on." And he's like, "Oh, you're getting to hang out on the Titan, but they say it's been rechristened."
Yeah, you got to
In
fix your
honor
video
of-
again, John.
Huh?
You got to fix your video again. Your credits.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm done. I've retired that video. So now she is the NCC 1701G USS Enterprise. What do you guys think of that?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was.
It just gives them leeway to make Star Trek the next generation.
Everybody wants Star Trek Legacy.
So I don't know how I feel about it, because to me this is what they did with the A, because I think the A was another ship that they just changed the name on. And then Jack is like, names mean almost everything. And then I don't know how do they do this. You're acting in front of a blue screen. It's not like you're actually seeing the ship. It's not like he's an actual captain. But the look of pride and tears of happiness and tears of joy that he has on his face right here is his acting level went from, barely cognizant to off the charts. Once they
You have to remember, he's a Shakespearean actor.
That's true, but what I mean is, like, in the beginning of the series, it's like, he was still I guess it depends on when they filmed this, if this is one of the last things that they filmed and he's feeling all the emotion from being on the original bridge and being back with the crew, and there's actual...
Maybe his check cleared.
Yeah. They're holding up his paycheck out the window.
And you've also got to remember, as a character, he's always had some kind of barrier up, and that barrier is not there anymore.
Yeah,
true.
Because of Jack.
And then Jack walks on the bridge of the Enterprise with some swagger, thinking he's in control, and he's like, set course for Mtalis, maximum warp. And he sits down in the chair, and they're like, no, get up.
Yeah.
And then Rafi says, get up, Ensign. And then 7 of 9 turns to Rafi and says, thank you, number 1. So Rafi's like, I can't believe Starfleet decided to give a thief, a pirate, and a spy their own ship.
I like that.
So Jack's like, where do you want me to sit? I speak 13 languages. I'm kind of like a doctor. I know some science stuff. Where should I sit? And she's like, oh, sit right here. You'll be the special counselor to the captain. And then everybody's back together.
I like that. Captain 7.
Yeah, that was cool.
So she's like, so what's your first command going to be? Everybody has theirs. One's engaged. Some people have make it so. What was Janeway's?
Don't remember.
I don't remember.
Did Kirk have one? I don't remember that either.
Take us out.
Yeah, I guess. Never thought about it.
Oh, take her out. There's a long history of this.
There you go.
There's Kirk.
So what's your first official act? Opening the book of your legacy, and it's kind of like, I guess, Age of Ultron again.
We'll leave that up to your imagination.
Yeah, like, so you got the Age of Ultron where Captain America's like Avengers, and then it goes blank.
So what's her first command?
We don't know.
Resistance is futile. Oh, sorry. Oh, no.
Yeah. Did I say that
That
out loud?
suck.
So warps off, and then what is this, like ending 5 now?
Mm.
Yeah.
Isn't this how the series ended with them sitting around playing poker?
Yes,
Yeah.
the exact same way. So right now they're all getting drunk, and I had hoped that this scene would take place in 10 Forward
With Guy
on the
It should have.
Enterprise.
It should have been.
You know, but it's here at
Guinan's bar.
Guinan's 10 Forward Lounge in San Francisco.
Didn't he say like his guidance over there looking at us?
Yeah,
It's like,
she's been giving me the side eye. We've drinking her out of all of her some kind of booze that they drunk the whole storage room of.
Not enough money to get her on the show.
Not enough room in the set, I think.
Damn.
That was a dig.
Comments below, guys.
CBS cares.
It's john.biscardi@gmail.com.
Hey, quiet. So they're like, okay, we're going to have one last toast. And Geordi's like, I think this is it's Data's turn for a toast. And Data's toast is there was a young lady from Venus, and they all he's like, oh, I've always wanted to finish that. So Picard gives a nice little toast, and he ends it up with a card, and they're all like, oh yeah, let's get this going. And there it is. And this was another hilarious moment. Worf slams his cards down, and he's like, I fold, all right. And there it is. The end of the episode, the end of the series. And it just keeps going on.
And there's still 5 minutes left.
On and on. Yeah. And it just keeps going because it keeps pulling up, because that's how they ended it. You know, the All Good Things was them moving around the table, and then an overhead shot of the table as they spin.
How was the reaction in the theater?
It was the theater was it was all applause and cheering, and I think if there wasn't the after show with the cast, I think half of the crowd would have left
And missed the end.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, they pulled the Marvel. Or they
You know what though? In their defense, when I first saw Iron Man, I had to pee so bad by the end of that movie that when the credits started rolling, I just left. I was like, okay, the movie's over. And then I had people telling me the next day, did you see the end credits scene? I'm like, no, the movie was over. I left. Oh, so I had to go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
To see the end credits scene.
But
Well,
see,
see, I
ever
think
since I
that's-
saw Ferris Bueller, I learned my lesson that day.
Well, that's the thing. There's it always used to be for Marvel at the end of the credits.
Yeah.
But now they moved it to a mid-credit scene.
They've added the mid-credit scene. There's mid-credit scene and an end-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but the end credit scene is usually something comical, somebody stubbing a toe or something, and
Ant playing drums.
yeah. So it really doesn't matter if you see that. It's the mid-credit scene that has the continuational aspect. And then here we have the Star Trek Picard mid-credit scene. I guess they're in the Mtalis system around a giant sun. and Jack is unpacking, and who shows up?
Awesome.
Dun, dun,
The-
dun.
The roar of the crowd for John Delancey as Q was insane. They just
That's where all the money
everybody
went.
just went crazy. And it's, you say, well, he's like, didn't you die in the last one? And then Q in Q fashion says, here I am to think the next generation wouldn't think so linearly.
You're not thinking fourth dimensionally, Marty.
And then we have.
I
him
wonder if he knew that he was going to be on the episode back when we went on the cruise in February, because he didn't show any signs of I was on the show.
He didn't. He didn't really.
Bill,
talk about it at Fan Fest back in October.
Yeah.
let's see, Bill. I thought when you were on that cruise, they just wrapped up the whole season.
No, we were still on episode 3 because we had just seen episode 3 on the cruise.
Well,
Right, but wasn't filming complete?
Filming was complete. I'm just saying that. Oh my gosh, I wonder if he held. They said filming was complete, so did he hold back? How did he hold back with all that emotion going on? Same thing with Shaw.
How did any of these not leak? How did any of these cast choices? I think that just goes to show you when you have good writing and the fandom is enjoying what they're seeing, they respect each other enough to keep it quiet.
Yeah. True.
Because there could have been leaks off of the set saying that Ro Laren was in this.
Oh yeah.
Because how many leaks have you seen become? I don't want to say fact, but actually be true from Overlord DVD. When he's got his spies in Hollywood that say this is who my spies are reporting is on the set of Indiana Jones. I think that doesn't happen when the producers are respecting the lore.
Yeah.
If you respect the lore, you're not gonna. I think you're gonna keep it quiet, because we had Ro Laren, we had Shaw getting killed.
Yeah, Tuvok. I mean, it was amazing. They held so much down. It was so locked down. It was amazing.
Right, and I mean, you had to know that the Enterprise D was going to be in it.
yeah.
That's not one of those where, hey, it's not a shock type of thing, but the Moriarty.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you knew Lore was going to be in it because of the trailers. Kirk's body. I mean, there was a hell of a lot in this that they kept quiet, and it was just impressive the way none of it got out.
Yep.
So then we have Q's, Jack says to Q, I thought humanity's trial was over. And he's like, well, it was Picard's trial. That has ended. Now yours is just beginning. So, and he's just an awesome character, and
Yeah, yes.
I hope he's in. If there's another series, I hope he's in it, because I was hoping for a Q series for season 2, but I think what was he in? Maybe 3 episodes.
He was not in the mini, that's for sure.
Yeah, less than 5 from the season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I bet
But that-
there is going to be a spinoff. I really, after this build up like this, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
So Dave, you just finished the episode a couple of minutes ago.
All right, I did.
He'll watch it.
What are your thoughts? I mean, you've watched Star Trek before, right? You're not into Star Trek as much as Star Wars, right?
Well, obviously, now Next Generation, because when I was in high school, that's kind of when Next Generation kicked off on TV. So I did watch that one, and I've gone back and binged watched it several times. Wrath of Khan, love that movie. First Contact was amazing. Search for Spock and The Voyage Home were like, they're not horrible, but they're not the best things ever. The first movie was god awful. But I mean, even the J.J. Abrams reboots, I kind of like the way that they took the story with it, as far as the Romulan coming back in time and resetting the timeline, basically, to where it could just open up a whole new can of worms. And it's like, hey, we just stay in the same universe and just start all over, kind of thing. So,
Right.
but as far as this goes, oh man, I thoroughly enjoyed it, just because, like I said, with Next Generation, I grew up with Next Generation, and that's what I liked, or because you saw it once a week on TV, Thursday nights or whenever it was. That was Next Generation night. You sit there and watch that, and so seeing the whole cast back together again was great. I loved it. Being on the original Enterprise, just a lot of feels.
So if we had to rate episodes, how would you?
That's gonna be really tough, man.
How would you rate? How would you rate them?
I use the keep it simple, stupid ranking for me.
Yeah.
So my number one was the last one, which was 10, and then all the way down back to 1. Because each one was getting better and better from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I cut off on that first one.
So I just said it's from 10 down.
I
Was
think,
my best.
and I think we kind of discussed this too in while your microphone was having issues, was that if they had started with this season, they could have ended with this season, because you can't top it. You could not top this season. It was great.
Yeah, no need to watch season 1 or 2. Just you're okay with 3.
Just stick with 3 and you're fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if I had a choice, if I picked my top episode, it might be number 9. I don't think you can top seeing the Enterprise for the first time and hearing the computer voice again for the first time. I think that whole, because that's an hour-long first 35 minutes wraps up the story arc, shall we say, and then we have to go get the Enterprise. And then that last 20 minutes where they're aboard the ship and we see her for the first time and hear the computer voice. is just fantastic. So let me see if I can get this on screen. This is I don't know if you can see up here. That's the bag of the commemorative box of.
Are you serious?
Oh,
Right here.
okay.
Oh, nice.
That's the commemorative box of popcorn. And then they gave out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I want
they gave out
that.
this
Cool.
lithograph. It's gold leaf.
Wow.
Are they numbered?
I can put a number on it if you.
Uh, I've seen them do that before. They numbered them up to be like one of 300 for the opening of different movies.
Right.
So I was surprised it's not numbered.
That's so cool.
Even
That
worth
is-
more money.
It would have been better
Yeah,
if it was autographed, but hey.
It's got, well, I think if anybody is going to be wandering shows and conventions that I'm at, this might have to come with me, and I might have to spring for
A few autographs.
for autographs to get this. And it's I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, nice.
Real thick, huh?
Yeah.
It's cardboard. Yeah, it's not a cheap roll up poster.
Right.
So
Is
That's
it
cool.
copyright behind it or anything talking about that particular show on the
no,
behind it?
there's no writing
It's
on
all
it
blank?
whatsoever. Yeah, it's just
Wow.
blank on the back. Yeah. So I eventually hope to have the what do they call those things when you get it signed? The
Certificate of authenticity.
yeah, hopefully I'll have how many? 9 of those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10
Patrick-
cast members. That'll
Patrick
cost me
Stewart's
about
going to be a tough one to come by.
$50,000. So, well, as a whole, one last thing. Thanks everybody for taking these last 10 weeks and talking about it with us here on the channel. I really appreciate your time. I am going to start watching original Trek, and then probably take a week off, a week or two off on Fridays, and probably what are we just into May? So probably the beginning of May, first Friday in May, come back with Federation Friday, and we'll be talking original Trek. I don't know what order we'd watch it in, whatever order is on Paramount. So I don't know if they're
I need to
doing
get my
it in
Blu-rays.
release order, or if they just do it in
They do it in
number order.
chronological. Yeah.
They have
So-
that. They have that Heroes and what's it called? Heroes and Icons. They show Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah.
I know it at 8 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah, it's also on Pluto TV on the Star Trek channel. There's
Yeah.
a channel that is just Star Trek on Pluto TV. So we'll start at the top. Deb, what you got coming up? Anything on Marvel Mondays, or are you still talking Mario?
No, no, we are moving to Star Wars. We will be talking about Andor. Chris is supposed to be binging that this weekend because he's never watched it. So
What?
yeah, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of rants and
Chris is rather cynical about Star Wars since
Yeah,
the Disney
Disney
acquisition.
Star Wars. Yeah, so it could be a very, very interesting show on Monday. And then
I'm with-
Thursday, of course. Well, I don't know. Oh, we haven't decided what we're doing Thursday.
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
Yeah, we're doing what you said.
Oh, my idea. Okay.
I forgot what it was, but yeah.
How Heir to the Empire, the books,
Oh,
Ooh.
yes.
will work. how that's going to work into Ahsoka.
How are we gonna?
When's Ahsoka coming out?
August.
August.
All we know.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
So August. At least they've narrowed it down to a month. That initially it's coming out in 2023. Well, shoot, that's a long time. When?
I think originally it said summer of 2023. So technically it's still summer. It's just the tail end of summer in August. So depending on where you live.
Bill, what do you got coming up? I know you said you're fleeing the country.
Fleeing the country for 4 weeks. I'm filming Big Cats, a horror film. I have my character, some other films I'm doing, but Lower Decks comes out. If you're into that animation, it comes out I think in June. So I'll be back around May.
Check out actually.
Strange
New
New Worlds comes out in June.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that too.
Yeah, so we'll do original Trek until June 15th, and then we'll move on into Strange New Worlds for probably 10 weeks, and then jump back into original Trek. So
I'll
Jeff,
be back by the end of the month.
Yeah, what do you got coming up on your channel? Still playing Tetris?
Well, I just did the unboxing of this. I did a little recap of the podcast we did when I got live on the stream. Hard. It's very hard. But what I have coming up, I'll be doing some live streaming video games on Sunday. That seems to be doing something different I decided to do. So we'll see if that continues and if everybody likes that. But most importantly, another episode of The Days where we go back into our Wayback Machine and visit pop culture history. And we'll be looking into arcades from the 80s and 90s on the next episode.
Very cool. Very cool. That's a good, I don't know if you guys have checked it out yet, but The Days is pretty neat. It brings back some memories, and, you say to yourself, wow, I remember shopping at Kmart.
Yeah.
So thank you. I want to thank the panel for, again, 10 weeks of insight into Star Trek. Thanks for giving me a reason to talk about this, because the guys I work with they're more into football. They're still talking football, and it's April, so I'm like, I need someone to talk this episode about. So
hey, those football guys, they're bigger geeks than you are, because they spend a lot of money on tickets to go see a game. They dress up as their favorite players, so they're cosplaying, and then they talk about football all the time. So all you jocks out there, geeks, welcome to our world.
That's it. We're all together in some form or fashion. So, and thank you for everybody who's checked in and watched the channel. We appreciate your time. We will see you on the next one very, very soon. Jeff, I stole your line. We will see you next.
On the next one. Laters. Oh, yeah. We got to do our picture.
Got it.
All right. Good night, everybody. Live long and prosper. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for Federation Friday, the original series. Until then, later.
Laters.